welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to talk about emotional intelligence. It's also known as emotional quotient. Okay, just like we have intelligence quotient, which is the IQ, we also have emotional quotient, which is the EQ. It's a very interesting topic, and I'd like to talk about it a little here today. So before I continue, as usual, if you are new, thank you and welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Kindly click on the subscription button and also on the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you get a notification to watch. Okay, so today I'm talking about emotional intelligence. Like I said before, most of us are familiar with intelligence quotient, which is the IQ. We hardly talk about EQ, which is emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. Both of them go hand to hand. Your IQ needs to be high, or if you have a high IQ, is good, but then you equally need a high EQ to balance your high IQ, because the EQ will help you to kind of cope with stressful situations and kind of cope with people or the changes around you. So the EQ, or the emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, is as equally important as the quotient, which is the IQ. So let me just give a brief definition of what the EQ is. Very interesting. So emotional intelligence, otherwise known as emotional quotient, is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. Emotional intelligence helps you to build stronger relationships, succeed at school and work, and achieve your career and personal goals. It can also help you to connect with your feelings, turn intention into action, and make informed decisions about what matters most to you. So that's basically what emotional intelligence is. So emotional intelligence, I mean, it's everything in the description I read. It means it's important to your survival in a community or workplace, or in your relationship with friends, your loved ones, everything around you. Okay, so what I gathered from this, sometimes we hear stories, like we hear stories of people that we look up to doing things or falling into making wrong decisions, and sometimes you wonder, this professor or this doctor, you get it? So like, this learned person, and you hear this news about something that they did, and then you wonder, Papa, we in dear for you, you my dear say, and or yeah, didn't say, and answer or can't say. The emotional intelligence comes to play. So I'll read 4 attributes of emotional intelligence or emotional quotient so that we can just touch base on a few of them. So we have self-management. You are able to control impulsive feelings and behaviors, manage your emotions in healthy ways, take initiative, follow through on commitments, and adapt to changing circumstances. I'm all for. So what it means is that you don't only need IQ. You don't only need IQ to be able to excel at your workplace or in school or wherever you find yourself. Because fine, IQ will get you that job that you want. Okay, but the EQ will help you to adapt to changing circumstances. So when you get that job that you want, Your EQ will determine whether you will be able to adapt to your team, the change, like the job that you found yourself into. Can you manage the people around you? Can you work with the people around you? That's self-management. And then being able to control impulsive feelings and behavior. So like I mentioned earlier, you hear that, hey, Professor Bina wakwa Saturday way. Professor Bina wakwa cancer same way. And then you're like, nipa, somebody who is so intelligent and he's supposed to know better. Control impulsive feelings and behaviors. Manage your emotions in healthy ways. So one attribute is self-management. And the second is self-awareness, which says that you recognize your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and your behavior. You know your strengths and weaknesses and have self-confidence. So emotional intelligence helps you to know yourself. You have to know who you are. You have to know what takes you. Okay, you recognize your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior. So you are in control of your emotions. You know how this will make you feel. So you have that self-confidence, you have that self-worth. So you will not allow people to downplay you or undermine you. Self-awareness. You are aware of your self-worth. That's emotional intelligence. It's one of the attributes. So you are not just intelligent, or you are not just book long, but you are also aware of yourself. You know who you are, you know your self-worth, you are confident. So in that confidence, you don't allow people to use you anyhow, or you don't allow people to downplay your strengths or take you for granted, if I should say. Okay, so self-awareness. And then we also have social awareness. This part I like. Social awareness. You have empathy. You can understand the emotions, needs and concerns of other people, pick up on emotional cues, feel comfortable socially, and recognize the power dynamics in a group or organization. Social awareness. So the IQ will get you that university that you want. Your IQ will get you that job that you want. Your EQ, okay, which entails social awareness, will determine whether you will be able to recognize that power dynamics in the group that you find yourself, or the organization that you find yourself. You see, sometimes you enter into, like, maybe you find yourself at an organization, okay, and then you realize that as somebody that you went to school with, who was first class in school, you go into this place and that person is just like a normal, staff. You are expecting that this intelligent person, okay, at this time should be like an executive of that organization or whatever. Or you realize that you've been in some position for a very long time, your promotion, cheba. Okay, sometimes social awareness, when you know your work all right, but you are so difficult to work with. You are the person in the team with the separatist behavior. Nobody likes to work with you. When they mention your name, you are saying, hey, as for this person, who's sending an email crying or responding, I said that they move. So I need to pay the only casa of phone, so cry, say, so all these things, okay, who would like to have you in their team? You go on an interview, you go on so many interviews at the workplace, and then you don't get a call back, and you wonder why. Everybody sitting on the panel, they know you, they have heard of you, and none of them want you in their team because they cannot work with you. So you will know your stuff all right, but then your emotional intelligence will determine whether you will survive in that organization or that community or even that relationship that you are in. The social awareness mentions empathy, and then you have to understand emotions, needs, and concerns of other people. There are people who are so clueless. They are so clueless. I mean, you are sitting at a table, you are having a conversation with a group of friends, people you call your friends, who you are supposed to know about. You are supposed to know what takes this person, what makes this person. You get it? So when you're having a conversation, okay, and then you have someone in the group who has been battling with having children, and immediately conversation goes like some way, you have to get the cue that, oh, I mean, this topic is too sensitive, let's change it. Some people will not get the clue. They will go on about their children and their husbands, and are you the only one who has gotten married? Okay, meanwhile, there are people on the table who are maybe struggling to have children. So there are some topics that are sensitive. Who started Kasana? I say, no, let me change this. I mean, it's not. Some people will not get it. So with such a person, next time there's a sitting, okay, everybody will be like, oh, you know, sometimes you have to get that, you have to pick up on emotional cues, understand the way other people feel. If you understand how other people feel and you are not in your own bubble, okay, you are able to relate with people better because you understand how they feel. So if you understand how they feel, you will know how to relate or deal with them. So that's one part. That's the social awareness. And then relationship management. You know how to develop and maintain good relationship, communicate clearly, inspire and influence others, work well in a team, and manage conflict. Emotional intelligence. So I believe that even when it comes to leadership, okay, like he's saying, you know how to manage conflicts, you know how to work well in a team. If you are emotionally intelligent, okay, and you are a team lead or a manager, okay, you should be able to, sit back and know everybody's strength and weakness just from observing your teammates. Know everybody's strength and weakness. Know what makes who tick, okay, and then know also how to communicate. If you have a leader who is emotionally intelligent, you don't need to go telling them about your problems all the time. Sometimes they can even get the cue, like we said earlier. Okay, so they know that no, Mamisi is not like herself today. There might be something wrong because she's usually very bubbly and but today I said, why you didn't cry? Let me find out if she's okay. Some people have no clue. They wouldn't even know whether you are well or they don't know. They have no clue. So they will even come and find out how you are doing or why are you down today. They cannot even tell. So when they hear later that, oh, you didn't hear this happened to her today, she was not, when she came to work today, I didn't even notice. You have no clue. So my video is just a short one today. I would like to urge everybody to read more about emotional intelligence, and then let's all get in touch with our emotional intelligence. I believe the same way that we are usually so concerned about IQ, with an IQ kitui, we should also be concerned about emotional intelligence, because that is what will help us to survive in this world that we are living in. It plays a very important role in the fulfillment and happiness that I was talking about. Because if you know how to manage your feelings, if you know how to manage people around you, you know how to manage your children, you know how to relate to people around you, it makes work easier. If you know your self-worth and you are aware of yourself, you have self-awareness, you know what you want, you know what makes you happy, so you go out for it. Okay, so let's read more about emotional intelligence so that we can thrive better in our workplace, thrive better at school, thrive better at home, because it's really, really important. to keep each other happy, to keep our emotions in check, and then to even give us the fulfillment that we are looking for. So today it's about emotional intelligence. If you don't know anything about emotional intelligence, kindly read more about it and get in tune with your EQ. Thank you again for watching. If you are new, subscribe. If you're an old member, thank you for sticking with me. So till I come your way again next time, be good and be emotionally intelligent.